Just wanted to do a quick video on how to set up the Airborne Tactical Assault Panel, or the ATAPS. I've seen a couple videos online on how to set it up, but it usually uses aftermarket pouches, which I'm all for, but you might be in a unit where you have to use issued pouches, or you just don't want to spend the money and use what Uncle Sam gave you. So both are valid reasons, right? So the kit itself, it is a split chest rig using a first spear tube down the middle, and then you have a panel here with 8 columns of MOLLE on it, panel here, the harness itself right here, and then you've got kind of this back harness right there. On the inside, you have these pretty useless mesh pockets. You can kind of stuff maps in there, or I don't even know, pens maybe, but I've never really used those at all, but they are there. But philosophy with this rig, and how I tell all my paratroopers to set up their equipment, regardless of rank or MOS, if they're issued an M4, is you need to be able to carry 2 tourniquets in an IFAK, a quart of water, 6 M4 magazines, 2 M67 fragmentation grenades, and your nods on you. So that's kind of the baseline I tell my paratroopers when they're setting up their chest rigs of what they need to have on there. I'll start over on the left side. We have the issued 1 quart pouch. These are great pouches, no issues with it. You can use them as GP pouches as well, which we'll get into when we hit the right side. Then we have the triple M4 shingle that's issued. Now the reason this is being used is if you try to use double mag pouches, or even like Spear Spud pouches or something of the likes, you start to run out of MOLLE real estate real quick on this chest rig. So you really need to use some sort of shingle that you can mount other pouches on top of if you're actually going to carry a pretty robust load and carry everything that I think you need to have on there. So quite honestly, if I was going to use non-issued pouches, this would be the first thing I'd upgrade with, probably like a tactical tailor, like triple mag shingle or something like that that uses bungees or a better retention system. These are fine, honestly, but you can only use aluminum GI mags with it. P mags won't work unless you modify it using bungee cords. There's other videos online that show you how to do that. On the shingle itself, I've got a tourniquet pouch, the issued tourniquet pouch. Honestly, I think these are great. A lot of kit people just use retainer bands to put the tourniquet onto their MOLLE webbing. However, as soon as you start low crawling or getting in the mud or whatever, that tourniquet's just going to be filthy. So I think it is very important to be able to have an enclosed tourniquet pouch on your kit. From there, we have 2 frag pouches meant for M67 fragmentation grenades. Honestly, you're not going to be issued frags that often, especially in a training environment. So these more often than not get used for a compass, and then one of them for a headlamp. Keeping that in mind, but it is still vital that you're able to carry M67 fragmentation grenades on your kit. Moving over, you have the split system itself, and then you have the 2 buckles, which can lower the rig to be underneath your parachute harness. Honestly, I don't see a lot of people jump with these underneath their parachute harness. Most people just stuff it in their rucks, but it is capable of doing that if you need it to do that. So moving over to the right side, kind of have it mirrored here. So we've got the triple shingle pouch there again. One thing to note, if you're right-handed or left-handed, you can move those frags to either side. I'm right-handed. I like my frag pouches to be on my right side. I think it's just easier to access and throw them, but to each their own. Then you have really 4 usable columns of MOLLE here, and I think that's really important to have kind of a open free space, because as a leader, you're probably gonna have to mount a radio pouch there or something, or you can put an admin pouch, and it just gives you flexibility. Or you might have to mount some like miles PERS or some sort of unit on there. So it's very important to have usable MOLLE on your kit that's not being taken up. And when we get to the rear of the pack, if you really don't like running your IFAK on the rear, you can put it right here and then basically have a slicked rear to be able to ruck better with it. Moving over to the right, mirrored, another tourniquet pouch and the issued tourniquet pouch itself. Again, I think it's important to be able to have clean tourniquets on your body, and then this way you have a tourniquet on each side, so it's accessible with your right and left hand. Now moving over, we've got another 1 quart canteen pouch or general purpose pouch. This one, it can be used for water. However, this is what I'd put my nods in for PVS 14. the old school method of making sure these are really cared for and making sure your PBS 14 is protected. You take a fleece cap, you put your PBS 14 in there, you have the metal canteen cup, and then you have solid impact protection for your PBS 14 in there. So it's what a lot of old school guys do, and it works pretty well. And besides that, it's always good to have a canteen cup on you. And then if you're not running nods or you're running them a different way, maybe you have a GP pouch up there, you just have another 1-quart canteen or general purpose pouch, which is never a bad thing. So moving over to the rear, we've got the issued IFAC pouch here. Have it there because it is a pretty slimline pouch. And then you have it in the center, you can grasp it with either hand. Some units will make you put it on your right side. Again, that's where this MOLLE space comes into play, or you might just prefer it there and have a slick back. This works pretty well, especially if you're using the MOLLE 4K or a Alice style ruck. If you're using the large MOLLE 2 ruck, kind of gets in the way, and that's probably when I'd move this over here to get it out of the way. But this is the setup that I have created using all issued pouches for the ATAP. So let me know if you have any questions, and I hope this video helps some people out.